And we have a live studio audience. Well, we have a very special Talk Your Abs Off episode today. I'm here with my grandpa, who is soon to be celebrating his 90th birthday, which is so exciting. How do you feel about being almost 90?
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yes.
I love it. And you've been healthy and active for my whole life, my 31 years. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the things that you've done, what you've done to stay so active and healthy. And you were in the military, right? You were in
Yes.
the Army.
Yes.
When were you in the Army?
From June of 1958 to April of 1961.
Did you have to do boot camp? Did you go through like a boot camp, like a physical
I
boot
went
camp?
I went to 2 months boot camp in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
What did you have to do? Was it like really physical?
It was physical. It was physical training for infantry.
And you were in for how long? 4 years?
33 months I was in. I was in intelligence.
Okay, gotcha. And what war was that? Me and my history were not very good.
It was peace. It was peacetime.
Okay,
It was just prior to the Vietnam War.
okay. And when you were growing up, you were pretty active too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you grew up on a farm.
I was born and raised on a farm in South Dakota.
Mm-hmm. What kind of animals did you guys have?
We had horses, cows, sheep, ducks, geese, chickens.
Were you the child labor that your parents made do the work?
Yes.
Yeah. How many of you were there?
There were 5 siblings.
5 siblings. And where are you in that mix?
I'm the second youngest. I was the fourth of 5.
Okay. Yeah. And did you all have to do work around the farm?
Everybody did work.
Yeah. Was everybody pretty strong?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the work?
I enjoy working.
Yeah. Did you enjoy working on the farm?
Yes.
Yeah. And then once you got older, you mostly worked on cars, at least from my recollection. So that was only within the past 30 years.
Yes.
Have you always worked on cars, or what did you do before that?
I always helped my dad work on his old cars.
Okay. And honestly, mechanics, they get a lot of that's a pretty physical job too,
Yes.
right? You're always, on your feet and lifting heavy parts, and
Yeah.
that'll keep you in good shape, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you got done with the military, and then what did you do after that?
I came back to the United States and assumed my job that I had before I went into service was in an auto parts store.
Okay, got it. Oh, and when you were in the military, that's when you had my mom, right? That's when you were in Japan?
That's correct. Your mother was born in Japan July 10th of 1960.
60, there we go. Also, now everybody gets to know how old my mom is. So if you want to do the math, there you go. My grandpa has just outed my mom. So thanks for that. um, that's great. Well, I remember over the past 31 years, I spent a lot of time with you and grandma, and we did a lot of things. We did a lot of traveling, a lot of time in Texas, a lot of time when you were snowbirding in Texas, which was great. And then, yeah, we were always doing stuff. So we were always staying pretty active. I mean, I would come and visit you at your house, and we were always going out and doing stuff too. But then, you've always been active. You've lived in this house for how long?
In this house, I have lived 46 years.
46 years. And it's a big house, and it's on, how many acres is this on?
It's in a 10-acre woods.
10-acre woods. Okay. And so as long as I can remember, you have chopped your own wood, you've cut your own grass, you've done your own snow removal, which is incredible. And you still do those things.
Yes.
At almost 90.
Yes.
90 as of December 18th. So if it's after December 18th, he has turned 90. And you still do those things. And I think that that's incredible, because a lot of times the things that I talk about with people is how you can age in a way so that when you're 90, you can continue to live the life that you want to live, right? You have this nice house, a 3-story house. You can still take the stairs. You can still do a lot of things within the house. You can do all the things outside. You have your garden. You can go out and walk the driveway to go get the mail and do all these things, which I think is incredible. How have you been able to maintain that all this time?
You have to retain your muscles in order to stay active, and your activity will keep your muscles strong.
Yeah, and you also have golfed for you had golfed for a very long time. How long had you golfed for?
At least 45 years.
Okay, which is fantastic. Really great for coordination. And I know you no longer golf, unfortunately, because your back was starting to bother you. But and you and I have talked. You also have you told me in 2018 about what happened to your knee when you just tweaked your knee going down some stairs, and is just like the only thing that you're really still kind of managing, but it's a lot better, right?
Yes,
A lot better than it could be. So going down the stairs in 2018 just tweaked a little something in his knee, and now can still walk, still has strength in his legs, is wearing you wear a brace, a little like a soft compression brace around your knee just to keep everything together.
yes.
um but like you and I were just talking about, out of all the things that you could have, like, that's very manageable, right?
Right, for sure.
Yeah, for 90, I mean, we see a lot of people a lot of times by 90, they're, very hunched over, they're shuffling, maybe they have, they're in wheelchairs, or, so you're very fortunate for all of the activity that's kept you on your feet for so long.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is also very exciting. He also you take protein powder now too, to make sure you get enough protein to keep your muscle. And protein is so important. It's what I talk about with all my clients and people around me, to make sure that you're maintaining your muscle. So making sure you get enough protein, making sure that you keep your movement, which you've been keeping up your movement for all these years, and the last thing that you're doing now that you've started over the past few years is lifting some weights. How's that been going?
It's going real well.
Yeah. How did you start lifting weights?
My granddaughter Abby had encouraged me to be on weights,
Mhm.
and so I took her wise advice and did like I was told.
That's great. I love it. I wish more people were like that, grandpa. Yeah, I mean, so we just have you doing you just maybe, I don't know, what is it, 8 exercises that you do, 3 sets of 10, and
Yes,
you do them how many days a week?
I do them 6 times a week.
6 times a week, and then you rest on Sundays,
Yes,
which is good. We all need a rest day, and yeah, I think that's great. So you're doing your weights, and you use 5 and 10-pound weights, which is perfect because, you don't wanna overdo it, and you don't wanna hurt yourself. So I think you're doing amazing. How do you feel about your body at 90?
I don't think it could be better.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yes,
Is there anything what would you if you were talking to somebody in their 30s, what would you tell them to do to have a strong body at 90?
at the very minimum, you should start walking.
Mhm,
Anything above walking would be precious,
mhm.
and you should make time for exercise. It's
Yeah.
very important.
What about someone who thinks that they're too old to start exercising? What if somebody's in their 70s and says, "Well, I'm too old?"
Just start on a slow pace
Mhm.
and work up, and you'll start enjoy exercising.
Yeah, well, because even before we started the weights, you were doing your recumbent bike, and you've been doing walking on the treadmill for a
Yeah,
very long time.
a very long time.
Yeah, so you're always very active, you eat really well, and something we won't put your weight out there, but something you told me yesterday at Thanksgiving was that your weight from last year is the same exact weight as you are this year.
Yes,
So you haven't gained weight, you haven't lost weight,
correct.
which is very important. That's really great that you've been able to maintain, because sometimes as people get older, they lose a lot of their muscle, they lose a lot of their body weight, and then, or on the opposite end, they can start to gain weight. So I think you're doing a pretty good job. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, everyone, this was such a special episode, a special 90th birthday episode with my grandpa. And I'm so thrilled that he is able to share how at 90 you can still be strong and you can maintain your muscle and maintain your activity. And if that's not motivating, I don't know what is. So thanks, Grandpa. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I am so thrilled that I get to share this conversation with my grandpa, with all of you. My grandparents, over my whole entire life, apart from my parents, have been the biggest cheerleaders of everything that I've ever done through all of my different sports that I played, through college, through getting out into my careers after college. They have been such a big support. And I love that now I get to support my grandpa. We lost my grandma about 6 years ago to dementia. And we really, as a family, spent a lot of really great time together. I have nothing but good memories of doing things with them. And, like I said, we were able to travel, and we did a lot of we were very active. We would go out. I remember when I was little, my grandpa, like he said, he did a lot of things outdoors. And so when I was little and we would visit, we would spend a lot of time outside, helping him with whether it was moving all of the sticks and everything over to the wood pile or just doing things outside. He also had some cats. We had to talk about that over Thanksgiving. He would feed like the stray cats in the woods, and that was one of my favorite things when I was little, is getting to see and pet all of the little cats that would come over. But honestly, one of the biggest things is just seeing how strong my grandfather has been throughout my entire life and all of the things that he's still been able to do. And as you can hear straight from him, he has a really good mindset around exercise and staying active. And I can't help but think that that was passed on to me through my family. I am the only grandchild on this side of the family. So the relationship that I have with my grandparents is very special. And they've supported me my whole life. And now I get to be here to support my grandpa through the very small piece of just creating a strength program that he continues to do 6 days a week and then rests on Sundays. And also getting to hear a little bit of my grandpa's background of the time that he spent in the military. He spent time overseas in Japan where my mom was born, and um, has experienced a lot of really cool things in his life and has seen a lot of things. And I can imagine that, over the 90 years, like we talk about, trends and things in the fitness industry change. And I'm sure my grandfather has seen all of these things change over time. But he has seen the important things that work, of sticking with a routine that is going to work for you and something that you enjoy and something that's realistic. And even as you get older, like my grandpa said, even if you're young, just starting out walking is such an important piece to stay mobile, especially as we get older. Even when things start to hurt, it's so important to find ways that you can still continue to move, and not become sedentary and stop doing the things that you love. So I am, again, so grateful that I got to have this conversation with my grandpa and that I get to share it with all of you. And if you if you live in Wisconsin and you know my grandpa, please wish him a happy birthday, as he turns 90 this year. And you know what? He's not slowing down. He's doing amazing, and he has actually changed the way that he's eaten. He makes sure, like we talked about, make sure that he gets a lot of protein. He knows the foods that have protein in it, and he eats those kinds of things. And even just having a garden has been so helpful for him, just to be able to have these fresh vegetables right outside his door during the seasons that they're available. My grandpa also has a really great support group around him. He has friends that he goes and meets and goes into town, and he has friends that come over and visit and spend time with him. When I went through the Blue Zone episode, talking about the Blue Zones where there's people with a lot of longevity, episode 15, if you want to go back and hear more about what those communities look like, those communities were communities where people were active every day, eating really well, eating fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh foods around them, and having a high level of support. So even at 90, my grandfather still has some really great friends. He goes to church every Sunday. He goes out with his friends. He goes out to eat. He has friends that come over and watch polka with him. He really has set up a community around him and an environment around him that supports longevity and living a fulfilled quality life. So just some things to ponder, especially as we end the year. I think this is a really great way to end the year. And um, I get a little bit emotional just thinking about it, because I'm so proud of my grandpa. And I just hope that he can continue to to live this healthy life and continue to share with the people around him, and he's passed so much of it onto my parents and onto me as well. So, whew. Happy 90th birthday, Grandpa. I'm so proud of you, and I know that those who are listening are proud of you as well. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And to my audience, thank you for listening. I know this episode was a little bit different, but thank you for coming along on this journey with me. And I look so forward to talking with you all in the new year. We're bringing a lot of great topics to the podcast, a lot more things around chronic illnesses, different chronic illnesses, different neurodivergence, and ways that you can still be active despite different conditions and things in your environment that might make things difficult. So thank you so much for being with me this year, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year on the next episode of Talk Your Abs Off.